immensely proud of, apart from being crestfallen, but immensely proud of the way you took it up to them?
Not really. We let a golden opportunity slip. And whether you finish on the bottom or whether you finish on the top, you're always proud of your players. Play a tough, volatile sport. So, yeah, I don't want anything to do with pride or bad luck and all that sort of rubbish that's going to come our way. Because it was a noble effort. Yeah. We should have won a game of footy. We missed out on a grand final because we just weren't hard enough and tough enough for long enough. Bottom line, you need to do it for 4 quarters in finals footy, and we didn't. And we paid the price, a bloody hard price to pay. When you've got a side on the ropes and you just don't deliver the final fatal blow. And we had a plan in place and we executed the plan for a fair portion of the night, and we just couldn't do it for the whole 4 quarters. And we've got to learn the hard way, and that's watch 2 good sides have a crack at each other next week for the title, knowing full well that we could quite easily have been participating ourselves.
Did you crack in the last quarter? Is that, or do you feel that they stepped it up and you just couldn't go with it?
No, we just wasted opportunities. What's the amount of times that we had opportunities to go inside 50 and we just couldn't connect with our forwards anywhere near as well as what we were, and we just. Collingwood's rebound rate in the last quarter was the highest it was for the game, and that was all because we couldn't retain possession of the ball once we got centre forward. We were actually getting it centre forward okay and had some inside 50 opportunities, but we just couldn't connect. Couldn't mark the ball, compose it. We've been averaging 25 or 30 marks a quarter for the first 3 quarters and then only have 11 marks for the whole of the last quarter. That ultimately cost us the game.
Elsie, you looked like you had chances to hurt them on the scoreboard with some set shots and that. How significant were those misses?
Oh, geez, there's a whole number of things, Bruce. Whether it's set shots, a couple of umpiring decisions, you put them all into the mix. Who knows? The bottom line is we weren't tough enough, hard enough for long enough, and you got to be. As I said, in finals games against quality sides like Collingwood, we served it up to them for a fair portion, but we just couldn't do it for long enough, and learn a pretty fatal lesson as a result of it. But don't want our players to have a warm, fuzzy feeling about being noble and all that sort of stuff. We set ourselves to win this game and go to a grand final, and we failed. And if that hurts, then that's what we've got to deal with for the next period of time until we get an opportunity. Unfortunately, that's 6 months away before we get another crack at it in terms of just starting the whole process again of the building blocks of giving yourself a top 4 chance, and then try to get ourselves in a position at the end of next year to have another crack at it. But when it's just sitting right in front of you and you can just grab it, it's just feel like you can touch it. It's just so hard to cop. But only 2 sides can be there at the end of September, and we're not one of them this year.
Did you feel like at the start of the last quarter, one more, or the first goal of the last quarter might have been the backbreaker? That would have made you 4 up in the context of the game. Yeah,
it's always going to help, isn't it? But it's tough to say. They're a good side. I said yesterday, they're a hard side to keep down for the full 4 quarters. But as I said earlier, we just couldn't compose ourselves with the ball enough. In the last quarter to take our opportunities that we got across the forward half of the ground for us.
So how do you think you handled it as soon as you got that lead again with Buddy's goal with 2 minutes to play or whatever it was, and how do you think you handled it at that point?
Gosh, she's pretty frenetic. I don't know. You got an opinion on it, Rich?
No, your team. How do you think they set themselves up and dealt with having to hold on to the lead?
Listen, mate, I don't even know what happened in the last 2 minutes. So she's frenetic, and we let a game slip. It was probably the fact that they got back in the contest in the first place earlier in the quarter that allowed them to have the momentum, and we're just bitterly disappointed.